Hi, welcome to Fanboy and Critic, our show where we go see new movies out in theaters and give you our review.
Both the good and the bad. I'm Joe Ortiz and I'll be your fanboy.
I'm Sam Wike-McClure. I'll be your critic. This week on Fanboy and Critic, we went to go see Civil War, written and directed by Alex Garland, starring Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Moura, Nick Offerman, Kaylee Spaney, and Stephen McKinley Henderson. And Civil War is about a press team that is covering a civil war, like what if Civil War happened today, where California and Texas left the rest of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
A24, it's an A24 movie.
A24. Man.
Alex Garland, what did he do well? And the rest of his team too.
You know what I really enjoyed about this movie was the cinematography. I think it looked amazing. I think all the shots looked great. I mean, just the way they express things. Like every time it would cut into like the journalists like taking pictures, like each shot was really good. I mean, they really showed like true America, and you know, this is like going on to the story now. Like it got very real at moments. Like this,
real.
Yeah, it felt very real. They did a good job at that, just making it feel real. Like that. What if? Like this is real. This can happen. And I think like the reason it felt so real to me is just because like I think with COVID and the pandemic, and that thing was like a coin flip. Like everything changed within like 24 hours, and like seeing this movie, it kind of just gets you thinking like, damn, this could be a real situation. The actors were good. I don't think anyone had like a crazy over the top performance, but I think seeing Kristen Dunst back makes you realize like how good of an actress she is. Like you don't see her so often, so when you see her play a different role, like you're not even used to her seeing, like she nailed it. I think Kristen Dunst played a really good role. I kind of felt like they tricked me. I mean, based on what the trailer was, I thought a lot differently of what this movie was going to be, but it just did end up following these people that are with the press and they're covering the Civil War. You know, I might have wished they kind of went more into
The military
and the war part. It ended up revolving around like the actual journalists, which was great, but you know, like capitalized on the plot, man. Like what was going on. But other than that, I think it was just really real. The war shots were great. Just like they just did a good job with like the cinematography was like the best part of it for me. Like it just looked really good. Like it looked amazing. He did a good job with that.
Yeah, I agree. It was very. I mean, I kind of like that it wasn't just a flat out like. I think it could be really over the top if you just follow the soldiers, which we kind of did the last act. We followed the soldiers, and it kind of felt over the top. It was the weakest act in my opinion. The rest of it, I felt like it was kind of slice of life in a war-torn country, which happened to be the United States.
Yeah.
I think they did a very good job of a lot of things.
Okay.
I think for the most part, the last act kind of felt forced to me. Like the rest of it was very like naturalist dialogue, you know, very just like it felt like somebody was just following these people around. And then the last act felt like they switched gears and they're like, okay, it's semi an action movie now. And, you know, it wasn't bad, but it felt disconnected to the rest of the movie. And then there was like the ending I just didn't care for. I can't give away, like I can't spoil it for y'all. But they're just like almost up into like the last like 2 minutes. Like the last like 2 minutes I'm like, okay, you kind of undercut everything else you did. Like they just spent a whole lot of time being like realism, like this is how it would actually feel.
Yeah.
And then the very end, it was like, but also like, we're just gonna, you know, we have to wrap up this movie. What I think they didn't want was like a Hurt Locker ending or something where it's just like, and all that sucked, and these people just had to live with that.
Yeah.
And like they wanted a resolution, and I think it would have been perfect to the movie if they didn't get like a wrapped up resolution.
Yeah.
I just don't think they had the balls to fully go there. Like they had a lot of balls to make this movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. And in the way that they did, but like they just needed that extra nut to like to like just actually end it on a realistic note, not a movie ending. All right, Jay. for all the fanboys out there, all the critics actually, convince them to go see this movie.
Critics, here I am, convincing you to watch Civil War.
Just say A24 and be done with it. They'll all go. They'll cream their pants and they'll go.
That's true. I mean, it is A24. I mean, come on. Give it a shot. It's A24. They do great. And Kristen Dunst. Kristen Dunst is back. Mary Jane. Check her out.
You know who I think really actually stole the show, though, was Kaylee. I've never seen her name before, but Kaylee Spaney. I thought she, like, stole the show.
Yeah, she was great. I think she's the one that had, like, the most emotion throughout everything.
Yeah. Like, everybody else
probably
is, like,
the most growth, too, like, in the movie.
She had, like, an actual arc where, like, Kristen Dunst is a veteran photographer who, like, has seen it all, so she's kind of dead inside.
Yeah.
And Wagner Moura is just, like, this guy who gets off on the adrenaline of being in the middle of shit. So neither of them really grow that much. I mean, you see some growth, some arc, but Kaylee Spaney is a 20-something, person trying to be involved in the war in whatever way she can and take photos, and she has no idea what that means. So she sees horrific things and then, comes to like grips with it by the end of the movie. Oh, I guess I have to convince the fanboys not to go see it. Fanboys, there's a lot of good movies in theaters right now.
True.
I feel like this is one that's not so bombastic that you need to see it in a theater. You can wait and watch it at home, at your leisure, when you can, be comfortable. Because there's a lot of really uncomfortable things happening in this movie. So maybe just put on some BJs and watch it at home versus going out to the theater. Because this is definitely not a date movie, for sure.
Yeah.
On to the ratings. How do you feel about it?
Civil War. Where am I at? You know what? I'm kind of leaning towards you. I'm at a Y.
Oh, really?
I'm at a Y with this movie. Why trick me, man? The trailer looks so good. Like I said, I think this is going to be very split with a lot of the audience. What you see from the trailer is not what you get with the movie. I'm not saying the movie's that bad. It's just not what I want and what I expected.
It's not as action-packed.
Yeah. There's just so much potential in the plot, and they didn't go through with it.
They didn't fully explore
everything. They came in from a different angle. So yeah, that leaves me at a Y.
I actually feel the opposite. I feel like
I came out the movie theater like me and Sam are gonna be so opposite.
I feel like they explored. It's like a war movie where the ones that I like the most, probably not the ones that I watch the most, but the ones that I fully like the most, where they actually explore the effects of the war on the populace, and you do see combat, but it's really more about like how the war is affecting everyone.
Yes.
And like what war means and what, the sort of thing does to people, I find more appealing as a movie. Now, something that I will watch over and over again has action because I don't have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like they explored the premise more than if it was just fighting.
Yeah.
I disagree, which is why I'm at an amaze.
Oh, look at that.
It's not the best movie of 2024 by far, but it was quite good, and I appreciated the swings that they did, and I appreciate that it's not a blockbuster action movie. All right, fanboys and critics, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Make sure to check us out next week for a different movie.
And we'll see you for the next review.
That's all we see.
That's very true.
Like, we don't see little slices of life.
We were going to be so far off in this. This is why the movie's called Civil War. Okay? they're dividing already the viewers.